Hello, Matt. Welcome to episode 3 of the Path of the Magician in the Path Arcana campaign. I am Eric Scott DeBee, the DM of this campaign, and we are quickly approaching the climax of this particular season. I'm thinking that we're going to have like short little seasons, like just 4 or 5 episodes, and then we're going to take a little break, baby, and play another couple games, and then come back with another season because we got to get through all the steps of the Arcana. Obviously, I'm a completionist.
Like UK seasons, I guess, rather than
Exactly. So you can find me online. I'm a writer and game designer, and apparently D&D influencer. Yeah. Just like a bunch of us are. Anyway, so I just finished up a Kickstarter for a superhero story series, and I got physical copies in the mail, but I haven't had the chance to open up the box. So if you stick it around through the halfway point, I will have physical copies to show up on the stream, which will be exciting. But before we get to any of that, take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie to most everybody. I am a writer, game designer, and streamer. And I'm excited to be here because I'm playing Lucretia, and I love playing Lucretia. But I also want to tell everybody about one of our sponsors. As ever, it is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and the Hen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is also available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. And it is the last day currently for the Red Wizard Emergence event, so make sure to play those missions, earn gems, and spend them in the shop before the event ends. For more information, please check out idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held, werewolves, as we were just talking about in the Hangout, and space opera is RZ Held. And I will put a link to my space opera series. It is now complete, so if you're someone who likes complete series, you should check it out. Snarky AI, emotional support cats, all kinds of cool stuff. And I have 2 dice partners to tell you about. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you're skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. They offer those and gaming accessories as well at norsefoundry.com. Our second dice partner is the subject of a giveaway. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials. So you can get one set of those from the website, any that you like, shipped anywhere in the world. All you have to do to enter is type !ticket in the chat.
What beautiful dice.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Benjamin Williams. I work at Xbox on the Gaming for Everyone team. All opinions are my own. Casual disclaimer. Apologies I was not here last time. I was at Game Developers Conference for work. I'm excited to be back playing Captain Zeph Nine Fingers.
Wait till Ansari finds you, then maybe you won't be excited.
Yeah, some things happened. And I wanted to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy Passover for those of you who celebrate. If you are really big into celebrating, you're probably not watching the stream when it airs, but you might see it thereafter. That's where Brian is. Best to him and to his family. And we're going to assume that a lot of fiddly things on the ship need to get fixed this session, and that's what he is up to. So we are going to start our session tonight with Captain Zeph. So, Captain Zeph, you are comfortably lying in a hammock below decks on a creaking ship, and folk are working. It's a busy, bustling ship. You hear the shouts of men and women on deck. You hear the cry of seabirds, the gentle sway of a ship lulling you into comfort and peace. And an arm wraps across your bare chest. And Sebastian says to you, "No, we don't have to get up yet, do we? Come on."
I mean, one, that's a big hammock for 2 people on a ship.
You're very cuddly.
It's true. You know, why not? I mean, is this a flash part? Okay.
You seem troubled. Is something bothering you?
Just no. Just I don't know. Missed you.
Well, I wouldn't say you missed me.
I always miss you. I mean, when you're all the way up there in the crow's nest, and I'm down here on deck, like bossing people around, I always miss you. You know
Yes,
that.
well, I suppose. Speaking of the crow's nest, I should probably get up and see. We are always in danger of running across another ship, right?
Well, yeah, but you know, I mean, we got other people with eyes. You can stay here. I mean, it's late. I mean, or early. I don't know what time it is, but you know, let's just stay here for a little bit.
How
It's
could
just
it
2 of
be?
us.
How could it be, my darling Captain Zeph? Irresponsible. Who would have thought?
I mean, we're pirates.
You know, I had forgotten. Thank you for reminding me.
And I'll reach over to what I assume is maybe like a chest that has some coins in it, and I'll pull it and I'll just sort of like sprinkle some on his chest and be like, did you forget?
Ooh, you're hitting me again. All right. So yeah, you're having a relaxing time, and all of a sudden the ship just shakes, like you just lurch madly, like you hit something.
I swear to God, that first mate, I'll kill him. I'll kill him. What did I say? You had
You
one
look
job.
over and Sebastian is gone.
Weird. Wow. And literally I am sort of trying to remember, which ship am I on?
You don't know. It looks
Okay.
vaguely familiar. And you hear, and then you start hearing people screaming from up on deck.
Do I see signs? Do I see anything that tells me that this is the Kraken's wife?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Window, go bigger, do the thing. Here we go. This is not very exciting, is it? Yeah, 7.
You think so? Yeah, you think that's where you are.
Yeah, all these ships. I mean, yeah. I mean, where else would I be? So I'll just sort of, because it is my ship and it's a bump, I will hasten to go and yell at some people to make sure that like that wasn't a rock. Better be just some log in the water. Messing up my ship.
Yeah. As you're looking around, you start heading over toward the stairs. You see something start dripping through the boards above you, and you see that it is blood that is dripping down toward you. One drop falls on your forehead.
Rapier out, rushing up the stairs.
Okay. You rush up the stairs into a scene of madness and carnage. It seems that you have indeed hit something. It was not a rock. It is some kind of creature that is thrashing through the sea, sending up spray and waves that just knock people off the ship. There are people fighting. You're not sure what they're fighting, but they are fighting within some kind of storm, like a hurricane that's passing through the ship.
I would immediately just start assessing the wind, shouting orders, like trying to get people to make sure that we don't break a mast, like figure out who's at the helm and try and take control.
Okay. Yeah, you start, go ahead and make a charisma check just to force your force of personality out there.
23.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, your clarion voice sounds throughout the ship. You're issuing orders, you're taking charge, and then you hear Zeph, and then the main mast just shatters, and something and that the crow's nest was on top of, and you see it just start falling through the air. And you see Sebastian in the crow's nest, kind of just hanging on and hoping that, he can catch on something rather than fall to his doom.
is there like a rope I can grab to like do some dramatic swing to get to him?
Sure. Go ahead and roll just a straight d20.
Okay. Well, that was a better roll, and then it tipped over into a 4.
Okay, so you grab a rope, you cut the bottom of it to pull yourself up, and abruptly a massive paw scaled with dark blue scales just smashes down onto the deck in front of you. And then another one appears, just claws scraping through the deck, narrowly missing you. And then the creature's head emerges, a massive blue dragon.
You have got to be kidding me. Are you serious right now? I scream into its face.
Its mouth starts crackling with electricity, like
Dodge.
lightning dancing back and forth between its incisors.
Jump out of the way as quickly as possible.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, I keep rolling 18s and then it tips over into a 4. That's a 6.
Okay. So
It does not like me right
you're
now.
trying to dodge and the lightning just crackles toward you, and then Sebastian is there and he throws himself in the path of the lightning, and just you watch as lightning crackles through his body. You could see his skeleton illumine through his flesh, and then he just collapses, a charred husk in front of you.
Rage. I try and murder the dragon
And then
any
you
way
wake
I
up
can.
and you're standing on the deck of this ship that you were on when you went to sleep, and your sword is in your hand. This is the Far Wanderer, you recall it being named. Your sword is in your
Right.
hand. You're surrounded by corpses, hobgoblins in armor, sailors, just all dead, chopped up by blades. You're not sure which of them you killed, which ones you were dead when you got there. Who can say? But your sword is crackling in your hands.
It's crackling.
It feels like it. It feels like there's this electrical charge in your blade, and it's dripping with blood.
Oh no. Do I recognize any of these beings as people I know or were friendly with? Did I see them before?
So there's this massive wave of wind that's just sweeping down through the ship, and then it kind of dissipates and everything goes calm again. And you see Lucretia kind of limping back from a battle at the front of the ship. And you look up and you see Ansari up at the top. I think she was still at the rear quarters of the ship when
She
the
was doing
battle ended.
The wind.
Because you were creating the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see those two, and you see Danos, and he's like, oh, so much damage. Well, he pulls out his Tinker's kit, better get to work. And he heads off for the duration of the episode.
So do I see Ansari?
Yes, you do see Ansari.
I just book it straight for her.
Okay.
And if I get to her, I would just literally grab her by the shoulders and just be like, was the wind you?
Yes. You're awake.
Oh, thank the gods. You were the wind. Wind was you.
You were watching the battle and you didn't join in? You were already awake? What?
And then I hold my sword in front of me. It's like,
Oh, it's covered in blood, slaked with blood.
Oh, okay. I was too focused. I guess I didn't see you. You're awake.
like-
That's good. We need to talk.
yeah, because I actually wasn't awake. And I'll now take this opportunity to look. What does the weather look like around me?
All right. So The adrenaline of the battle eases. You're all there. Lucretia, you get back from slaying those hobgoblins. I think you were a little injured at the end of the battle.
Slightly.
Slightly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Several members of the crew are dead, but you have fought off the hobgoblins mostly through your group's efforts.
And the ship isn't sinking, right? Because I recall like pulling it off, and that probably made a bigger hole.
The ship is, well, they're bailing wildly down below deck. Yeah, there is a hole in the ship. The weather is fairly moderate. Like there's a small breeze, but clearly the wind that Ansari was creating with her magic was what was propelling the ship. At this point, the ship is kind of limping along and riding a little lower in the water than usual.
In the most uncharacteristic way for someone that is clearly used to the sea, I lean over the edge of the ship and I vomit.
Okay. So yeah, Zeph is emptying his stomach over the side of the rail there.
And then I come back and I'm just like, oh God, okay.
So
did I hear sinking? Sinking. The ship is sinking.
What I don't know about ships.
Okay, I would look to assess the ship.
The red-haired captain runs by. She's all, "Yes, we're sinking. Get below deck and start bailing. Hurry up, you."
Yes, ma'am. Immediately.
Did you not join in the fight? You hold up your sword.
My bloody sword.
Well, your sword is much cleaner than it was, as though most of the blood has evaporated or sunk into the sword. Who can say?
Well, that's new. Aye, Captain. And I will immediately, because I know how critical it is to address like ship problems while on the ocean, do my best to contribute as quickly and efficiently as possible to whatever the captain needs to address the ship.
I think even Lucretia, it would just kind of silently make her way past the other two to start helping with the bailing.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sari, like, she's like, what do I do?
Captain Sari grabs Ansari by the arm and says, "You have more of that wind magic?"
Let's see, do I? I think I have one. I think I have one more wind.
I think you can produce wind one more time.
Yes, I have one more wind.
All right. She says, "Fill those sails. Take us hard to port. The lookout spotted a small island. We'll, try and do repairs there." What are you looking at, girl? Get up there. Start doing the wind. She's very manic. Because, her ship is sinking.
Yeah.
All right. Danos goes below deck. He looks at the hole and he's like, nope. Mending won't fix that. And he starts trying to put together like some kind of metal contraption to try and like plug the hole at least enough to keep going. And so at this point,
am I there?
Yes, you are down below deck. They hand you a bucket. And
how big is the hole?
The hole, okay. So while you were relieving your stomach over the side, you saw what the ship ran into, which was a hobgoblin submersible ship from the Infernal Empire. You had heard stories, but you had never encountered one yourself. You maybe always thought they were a myth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had like spikes and it was terrifying looking. Okay. And now it's just kind of floating dead in the sea because, well, you killed most of its crew.
Is it? How fascinating. Noted for later. But for sinking ship, how big is the hole?
The hole is, from your basic assessment as a ship's captain, as a sailor, it is a crippling hole. Like it's large enough that you can't repair it while sailing. You can't maneuver the ship without getting some water in through the hole. You can shift like the ballast to like kind of tilt the ship away so that the water below the so that the water line is minimal, but it will still get into the hole. There's still water coming through. People are taking buckets and they're just tossing it out. But like it's a big enough hole to fit an ogre through.
Okay, that's a big hole. I was gonna say because I have mending.
Yeah,
But that's
it's too big
bigger.
for a mending spell.
It's too big. Well, I thought maybe multiple applications over time, but that seems
Perhaps.
still a stretch,
Yeah.
perhaps.
No. Captain Ceres wants you to get somewhere safe so that you can make that happen.
Yes, cool. I will contribute to the bailing.
Okay.
Or anything else that seems useful.
Okay. So, and Ceres doing the wind. Push the ship. Lucretia and Zeph are both working on bailing. So I'm going to need a series of skill checks. With the wind, it's going to be a spellcasting skill check. So basically make a attack roll with one of your spells. And then with the bailing, it's going to be an athletics check.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh,
19.
come on. I rolled a 6.
Okay,
14.
Lucretia, you are more sore and worn out from the battle than you expected, and like bending over to get the pails very quickly makes your back start hurting, and you're not really helping out all that much.
Clearly,
Zeph,
someone stabbed me somewhere sensitive.
yes, Zeph, you have a lot of experience doing this kind of thing. You don't like it, but you do have experience, and you do provide some excellent help. What did you get, Rhiannon?
19.
19. No problem. You fill those sails real well. Okay. Captain Ceres is out on the prow of the ship, kind of leaning over the figurehead, trying to spy safe harbor. And she says, land, keep us going, keep us going. The ship limps sadly up to this island, where it kind of runs a little bit of ground. Not significantly, because you weren't at much speed, but like you're up into the sand. And Ceres is like, well, it could have been worse. So when you're standing in ankle deep water, having debarked the ship as the landing party, Ceres puts her hand to her forehead and says, oh, it's worse. Because this island is a very tiny island. It's maybe a mile or two in diameter. There are some like coconut trees and a very small little jungle area in the middle of the island, but it's mostly just sand and rock and not a lot of in the way of resources.
Yeah, I'm hearing not water.
Right.
Question one.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some sort of landing boat or rowboat of some kind on the ship? I assume there is one.
Yeah.
And would it be completely foolish to, with permission from the captain, commandeer that ship and try and get back to the submersible and see if it can be salvaged?
Okay.
And check, because it might also have supplies on it.
Okay. She nods. It's an interesting idea. Can I speak with you for a moment?
Aye, Captain.
She takes you aside. Have you ever been on a hobgoblin submersible?
No, I didn't even know they existed. I just heard
Right?
like, wild
I thought
stories.
they were a myth too.
I thought they were so. When I heard that, I was like, "You're trying." I mean, like, People that hairy living on the ocean, you're gonna smell so bad all the time.
Yeah, exactly. How do you do it? Perfume, right? Perfume?
I shave.
Oh. Yeah, I don't do that. Anyway, so the Infernal Empire has apparently a fairly significant magitech that I was not aware of. If you think that we could salvage that ship, that might be worth it, but the crew's tired. You're tired. You also, if you don't mind me saying so, have skinny little arms.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I completely relate to that commanding life, as it were. But yeah, we're gonna have to split up efforts here. All right, I'll tell you what. You seem to be in charge of this little group, yes? Not the elf. I gave her existential dread, so I'm gonna default to you. You seem to be in charge.
They occasionally listen to my suggestions, which I will take as a compliment.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is that at dawn, we're going to assess how much damage there is to the ship. And if we can, we'll try and limp back to a port. If not, then I will approve you to take the smaller ship to try and see what you can get from the submersible. How's that?
99% agreed, and the only 1%, Captain, which I will defer to you, is that if we wait until morning, the currents might take that ship out of our reach. And I feel like kind of a now situation
that's a good point.
is really like I understand the men are tired, but in desperate circumstances, you have to push through your limits. Otherwise, we will all very quickly find our limits on this island, I fear.
Okay. I will have you make an insight check and a perception check. Or no, not a perception, persuasion. Insight, persuasion. Tell me what those results are.
My insight is 15.
Okay.
My persuasion is 26. Now, when I'm not in the dream hell of things involving giant blue creatures that breathe lightning, what could that possibly be? Apparently, my skills are back.
Okay. So you get the sense that what she really wants is she wants to make sure that you, and specifically Danos, are able to stay here and keep repairing the ship. Because if you head out in the smaller ship to the submersible and you don't come back, then they're stranded here.
Valid point.
However, with your massive persuasion result, you do convince her that your idea is a great idea. And she's like, yeah, you're right. That'll work out perfectly. Let's do that. What a great idea. I'm glad I thought of it. You convinced her so thoroughly that she is sure she had the idea and you just agreed.
And like most good scoundrels, I think I've convinced her of something that now I'm like, wait, was that a good idea? Perhaps I should have been a little bit more judicious on who was going and not volunteered myself.
Crew! She goes back to address the crew. She says, there shall be no rest. I shall need the most able-bodied and strongest of you to come with us on this ship.
And by the ship,
she
little
indicates
rowboat?
the small rowboat.
Oh, she's coming too. She's
Well,
not staying.
While not
You're
crew.
right. Maybe I should stay behind. You know, stay with my crew and all.
Of which we count ourselves, and we are dutifully looking for the betterment of the entire crew by getting resources, Captain.
Okay. Yeah. We're keeping the Magitecker.
I'm looking for resources, not possessions.
Exactly. He's the one who will be repairing the ship while we're waiting.
Lucretia will, of course, just step forward. I will accompany then.
Milady. I'll hop in. I assume Lucretia hops in. Does any of the other crew volunteer?
Two stout-hearted sailors hop onto the rowboat with you to operate the oars.
Excellent.
And Sari is hesitating. Sort
Yeah.
of.
Captain Ceres looks at Ansari and she says, I think your talents could be, well, an argument could be made for either staying with us or going with them. If you stay with us, you might be able to help us get back to a port. If you go with them, you might be able to help them salvage the ship. What does your heart tell you, lassie?
They're the ones.
She has kind of an accent when she's speaking with anybody like publicly, but privately it's just
They're the ones that I know. Some of my magic I need time to we need to go immediately. No, you said it would, the submersible would.
It was my idea that you go immediately. Aye. And Captain Zeph did concur with me idea.
Sorry, out of character, just to confirm, my intention is to get the ship and bring it back to where this ship is. Like, that's her understanding as well, right?
Seems so.
Okay, just checking.
But your insight suggested that she was concerned you might not succeed, or you might encounter more threats down there, or you might just never make it back to the island, which would be bad for her.
I mean, how far did we come from where the battle was to this island?
Several fathoms. It's a ways.
Okay.
It'll take you a couple hours to row that far. Maybe 4 hours to row that far.
Oh, okay. That's further than I anticipated.
Yeah, a ship being blown full blast across the water is probably going to have covered a lot more distance in a lot shorter time than a little rowboat trying to get back there.
Oh, it's D&D. Ships move at the speed of plot. But 4 hours is a perfect amount of time for Ansari to trance.
Are you complete? Oh, you used your last wind spell to get the ship.
Yeah, I mean, she's got, like, if you're like, what is this? How much magic do you have left? She'll say, like, well, I have some small things, but
right,
nothing that can make water or supplies or and the wind seemed the most useful.
Yeah. So I'll pull Lucretia aside real quick and just confirm, be like, you seem the practical sort. I really want that ship. And when I want something, I tend to make poor decisions. I am exercising so much restraint right now by asking you this question, but should we stay here?
I think the idea of acquiring the ship and seeing if it could be used to repair the other is practical.
Great, decided, we're going. 4 hours of rowing it is. I'll do my best to help.
So Rumpus and Paratter in the chat has informed me, isn't a fathom like 6 feet? I'm like, quiet.
Okay,
it's a ways. It's a long ways. Okay.
What I didn't say when you said fathoms was, Eric, I'm homosexual. I don't know what a fathom is. Like...
Well, I, a straight, also don't know what a fathom is. So let's.
I think fathom
needs to be more reading of Patrick O'Brien here.
Apparently, it does.
Fathom is more depth, as I understand it.
Look, I'm not a nautical expert. You gotta talk to Chris Jackson for that. Anyway,
I was gonna say, is it perhaps a nautical mile was the unit of measure you were attempting to give us?
Perhaps.
How many nautical miles away is it, Eric?
Many.
Okay. Oh no.
Enough that it takes 4 hours.
Okay, no, like I feel like I was attempting to ask this question before, and perhaps I was being too glib about it. But as Benjamin asking Eric, like, what are my chances of actually finding this ship versus like if we go rowing for it?
If you depart immediately, your chances, based on your experience as a sailor,
Right.
50-50. If you
'Cause if
wait
we-
until the morning, your chances are more like 20%.
Right.
And that is assuming that no one is alive on the ship to submerge the ship again or steer it somewhere else. You're not sure. All you did was see the ship kind of floating there. And then Ansari blew your ship off on its way. So
I want it. We're trying it.
you see the old gaunt wanderer watching you while you're considering this.
Oh, yes.
And he gives you a nod, which you're pretty sure is approval.
Well, you know what? I think that if a geriatric person who can throw fireballs and decides to attack a giant monster thinks it's okay, what could go wrong?
Okay,
They've got good judgment.
he comes walking gradually toward you with the staff, and he says, "I am too old and feeble to come with you, but I shall send along assistance that I might send." And he takes off this amulet.
No.
And he holds it out to Ansari.
Thank you.
Take this. It shall protect you as you have need.
And
Well,
she's
thank
gonna
you.
give him a look and be like, so before you were saying that we were gonna have to fight you, but now you're helping us. But the other said I was confused.
Fate takes different paths, my dear. I see now that this is the way of your destiny.
I don't like this destiny stuff, but she's still gonna put on the amulet.
Okay.
I mean,
will
I know
add
I
it
was
to your character
asleep.
sheet.
I know I was asleep, but didn't we save this guy's life? And now he's fighting us, but now he's helping us. I am so confused.
There
was
was a whole thing, and
complicated.
I still need to talk to you. But if I go, then you can't get away. When we're rowing.
That's
So.
right.
We got
You're
4 hours
trapped
to
together
chat.
on a ship. Ship.
I'll talk about
Rowboat.
whatever you want as long as yeah, well, are you coming? You don't have to, but
well, clearly it could not be more clear that she wants somebody to tell her what to do.
get in the ship with the amulet.
Okay. She looks actually like she tries to look sulky, but like that was what she wanted. Somebody told her what to do.
Awesome. And I'll wait until we actually get in and like pull off and we're a good like 100 yards, and then I'll turn to you and be like, I mean, besides, think of it this, if we die, there are worse ways to go.
You get that kind of slow head turn from Lucretia. Not that she's like, she knows that. There's no concern on her part, but it's like, this look on her face, like, did you really have to say that?
And that's the moment when my bird familiar lands on my shoulder and also just as slowly turns its head to look at you. Yes, I did.
That little like little slow bird-like head tilt kind of.
Okay.
All right. So we attempt to row back to the spoils of the battle that I was asleep for, but not asleep, but asleep, but not asleep.
Gotcha.
Pull the sword out and look at it again. Is it bloody?
Nope.
So,
Okay, so that
humans with sleeping, which is very weird, but like you do stuff like while sleeping. Like I've heard about that. but you fight while you're sleeping. Like, that's a lot.
I just need to check. Are we using euphemisms right now or being literal?
What? She's like,
That is from where she's sitting. I'm sure she's rowing, but from where she's sitting or rowing, Lucretia will be like, "That is not typical behavior." She's kind of like,
I do a lot of things in bed. Sometimes with swords. Usually it doesn't involve blood. Not my thing.
okay,
Don't know
so
what that was.
when you say in bed, like, it dawns, and there's that sort of aspect of like innuendo. Oh, she's maybe
Wait.
been a little bit sheltered.
Now the real life Benjamin is like, oh God, did I just mess up euphemism versus innuendo? I hate my life.
No.
No, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm intimidated. I'm sitting here with a bunch of authors and I like used a literary term and then what if I got it wrong? Shame.
No, the innuendo
shame
was
bell.
the swords and no blood.
Got it. Okay. Yes, sorry, apologies. Okay, so I will, as long as anyone who is rowing the boat looks like they need it, I will give them encouragement in my captainly way. Is there anything that we need to be doing to ensure our success right now, Eric, besides just rowing off into the horizon?
If you want to take over some of the rowing, you can. If you want to make some sort of effort to make it more likely that you will succeed, you could do that too.
I would only probably take over if it seems like it is of need, like someone is just physically done and cannot. I would instead focus on trying to figure out how do we actually find our way back to where we were and the most likely way to find the ship.
Okay, so it sounds like you're asking me about navigation. Is anybody skilled with navigator's tools? Hey, make an intelligence navigator's tools check, please.
I will do that.
It's good to be a sailor.
It's true.
Wait, forget I said that. All right.
Sorry, you said an this is intelligence check?
based, yeah.
Okay. It's like I'm only able to make the check because I'm proficient in the tools, correct? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Well, it's been a minute since I've been a captain. Also, I was asleep for half of that, and we zoomed away on a win, so I got a 5.
Okay. All right. So you're pretty sure you know which way to go, and you're heading that way.
Excellent.
The crew who are rowing the rowboat are they're following your instructions.
Yeah, and I'll be telling them exactly, be like, all right, so like the angle of the ship and the way it got on the beach, and then like the current and the winds and like that way. Good.
Not only a steady flow of tooltips explaining elements to new players, but also the simplicity
like,
of AI, free from the overabundance of cash shop nonsense and clutter.
All right, and you're rowing. You're rowing.
We reach our first settlement.
And Sari is prancing to recover spells, yes? Lucretia, what are you doing?
More than likely, just continue. I'm probably helping row, given that I am probably at least moderately strong.
Okay.
That's just
make an
got a trance, so can't talk.
Make an athletics check, Lucretia.
All right. Part 2.
count straight out the gate and makes sense considering the game's theme of
Ooh.
wanting to conscript as many competent
That's a
residents as
21.
possible for the ongoing faction
Awesome.
warfare. If not a little
All
janky
right,
from
so
time to time,
you are
vibrating around like a
moving the
housewife's
boat
Tuesday alone time,
slightly
along
to
with a
one
rare habit of
side.
Chachito here taking his
Eventually,
battling skills to new
both
heights, standing upon his steed like a segne,
both
and making a
rowers
strange
start
guest
rowing on
appearance
the
when
same
following
side
some of the faction's
to
plans for the quest,
keep
making
you
me think I was
going
about to launch my companion
straight.
straight into the enemy's face, only to be left
And
disappointed and clearly not the only
yeah,
one.
you keep going for a long time.
Oh, is he really gonna do it? Oh.
And you're pretty
Working
sure
through the
you
first
should
instance
have
of
overtaken
Mold,
the
it's not
ship
long
by
before we
now.
come across one of the game's
Been 4
public
hours.
events, which, although smaller in scale than some
Yeah.
more recent titles, works well at
Make
breaking up the
make
cosmic
another
rules, with us
navigation
joining
check,
forces with a
please.
local dwarf to take on a
Okay.
3-stage challenge with a boss fight, and with
I'll,
claiming each of the locals being as
I'm
concerned
assuming,
about
like, what
this
time of day is
as
it
we.
right now?
And following its completion, we're given a chance to roll to see
It's
who will get the
getting
best
to
loot from our
be
endeavor, with
nightfall,
Chachito actually coming
so
out
it's
on
Okay.
starting
top
to
for what
get
was
dark. You
granted
could
most
see the
likely
sun
infected
starting
the
to
effective.
dip down on the horizon.
Okay. I will, I'll sort of test the winds, maybe even like taste a little bit of the seawater, something very sailory, trying to see if I can figure out exactly where we're going and how to do it.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Hey, all right. You realize since the water in this place, this stretch of the ocean, is very different from the water that you were throwing up into not too long ago.
Lucretia,
And
you're too strong. You've taken us off course.
She will give a look at that. Just that.
No, that's a compliment. It's a compliment. It's, you gotta coordinate.
you're pretty sure you're an hour off course and you will need to adjust.
Okay. It's okay though. I know how to fix it. Just like, one more little hour rowing. If you need me to help, I'd be happy to help. Don't know how you're feeling.
The members of the crew, the two sailors that you recruited, look at you wearily, but they're like, "Aye, sir, aye." Just keep going.
I will genuinely try and encourage them, and not in a shisty, roguey way, but in a like genuine way. I want them to believe in us.
Okay. So you take up one of the oars next to Lucretia,
Yeah.
and you just kind of help. You're not making much difference. It's all Lucretia, but it's the thought that counts, right?
And the optics.
Yeah. Ansari, you finish your trance and you wake up, and have you decided that you want to attune to the amulet?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel just 100% recovered, just healthy, strong, robust. Like, you're pretty tough. You can take a lot of punishment, but with this amulet, you feel invincible. So I've added it to your character sheet.
Cool. Go see if I can find where the difference it's made.
I think you'll notice it.
Okay.
But so you finished with your trance. You're not at the ship yet.
Yeah.
You do see Captain Zeph like, "We got it, boys. We got it." And the others are like, "Yes, yes, we are doing well."
I'll start singing a sea shanty to like, get them inspired and
What is your sea shanty about?
The sea shanty is about a dwarf captain of a ship who was a notorious awful pirate, and who was very pious, and his piety was about drinking. So it's also a drinking song. Unfortunately, we don't have any ale to drink along with it, but it is very sort of very deep. You have to sing it like a deep voice because it's dwarves and drinking, because drinking is apparently a part of dwarven religion. I've decided.
All right. Yeah, that's reasonable. We will assume that the sailors have heard at least a version of this shanty, and they're kind of singing along with you.
Yeah.
Lucretia, this is totally foreign to you.
Yeah, she does not sing along.
Okay. All right. And Sari,
Yep.
so you've recovered from your trance?
Yeah, she's gonna like try to move around the boat, but like it's pretty small and like kind of clearly she does not sail or be in boats very much. But she's going to kind of like carefully make her way over so that if there's somewhere to sit where she's facing Zeph.
Yeah. Oh, you can kind of crouch down near where he is. Well, okay. So to row, you're kind of rowing backward, right? So the rowboat is going one way and everyone's facing the other. And Zeph is sitting in front of Lucretia. So yeah, and Terry, you can just kind of shift over and sit in front of Zeph.
Well, you look perky.
The trance helped because trance is normal and not weird. You told me that I could take a ship to get to my home.
Yeah. I mean, not this ship, but
no, not this ship.
A ship. Yes. Yes.
But the captain says that my family's home was overrun, and that so like my family must be on the move. She said the elves, they're nomadic. And so what you said was a lie.
Do you not know where your home is? Everything is reachable by ship. You just have to know what your destination is. I would assume that you know where your home is.
Well, I thought I did, but the captain, but I thought you knew where the elves were, so I was gonna go where the elves were.
Eric, do I know where the elves are?
Make a history check, please.
That's never good.
Seven.
I think for her part, Lucretia, since she's just kind of right there, it's just gonna be like, clearly the two of you need to work on your communication skills as she's rowing. Like no context whatsoever, really, aside from that brief snippet in the captain's cabin. So she's just like,
and I will give you your own slow, like, not helping.
just look back like, what?
I've heard stories of where the elves are, and finding where the elves are would be a grand adventure that I will take you on. All journeys have twists and turns. As we can see from our little journey right here today, you always make a plan, and something always goes wrong. But the point is, the promise that I made you, which is true and genuine and heartfelt, is that I will do everything in my power to get you there. I promise you.
Oh. Well, but can I trust that? I mean, so we had a deal that I was going to help you kill a dragon. I can't kill a dragon. I sort of thought maybe you kind of knew that. But you don't know where we're going, so maybe we're even?
You can control the weather, I thought.
I mean, a little bit.
You're an elf. You're like super powerful. What how do you know you can't kill a dragon? Have you tried?
So the captain was like that too. I'm not that old. My family's not that important.
So let me get this straight. You started this conversation by accusing me of lying. And now you have continued this conversation by saying that you have lied? I'm very confused about what we're trying to accomplish right now.
It didn't go like that in my head.
You know what? That happens to me all the time. In fact, that's kind of a daily occurrence. I tell you what. Miscommunications happen. This is the nature of communication and beings with hearts and minds that don't always align to each other, if you know what I mean. So why don't we make new promises to each other? How's that? So that my updated, refreshed, and new promise to you is the same as the old one. I will help you find your home, wherever that home is, even if that includes discovering where the hell that is. And once we discover where the hell that is, I will take you there together. I promise.
And I'll use my magic as much as I can to help you with your dragon, but I don't think it should just be me. I think we should figure out some kind of like other plan too.
You know, it's almost like I said something like that not that long ago, and which is why I was as I sort of like head nodding to like Lucretia, not so subtly. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, I could tell you're a good person. I believed your intent. And like, okay, cool. You can't kill a dragon so handily. You know what? We could get an army of people and maybe we'll all die trying to kill the dragon. The point is, we got to try. So I will help you try and find your home. You help me try and take care of my little dragon problem. All we can do is promise to try. Deal?
She's gonna like offer a hand clasp. I assume it's not like totally shaking hands, but whatever, clasp kind of thing.
I would like take it like a handshake, and then I would like genuinely, to ensure that you like are feeling like the intent, the like true intent, like sort of do like the double hand clasp and like look in your eye and be like, really?
Just entirely lets go of the oar. The oar just.
Well, don't let it get away.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's management. I don't usually do the work here. It's just, anyway. Slow head turn, like, do you have anything to say?
Oh, this is between the two of you.
That's literally not what you said a moment ago, but you know, we're gonna let that one go just for. And is that the moment where I see the ship?
Well, actually, that is the moment when Lucretia's oar hits something.
Oh.
And you realize that you have drawn up to the ship, which is still floating, mostly submerged in the water. The top of it looks like kind of a hump, like a practiced sailor might have imagined that this was a whale from a distance, right? But it's clearly made of metal, and it does have spikes coming off of it, one of which is broken off. You're pretty sure that spike is actually still lodged in the Wanderer, the ship that you came from.
Okay.
And I think now would be a good time to take our break. So once the break is over, then we will get into the getting into the ship and exploring the darkness full of hobgoblins. Oh, exciting.
Or just, you know, hobgoblin hair leftovers.
Yeah, who can say, right? Oh, wait, I can, because I'm the DM. All right, so don't go away. We'll be back in just 10 minutes, and see you then. And we're back. Welcome to the next part of Path of the Magician here on Path Arcana with the Dungeon Scrawlers.
Before we start, I want to remind our audience about our cool giveaway.
Absolutely.
So Phoenix Dice does dice from all recycled materials. It's really cool. And we are giving away one set, shipping to anywhere in the world. You choose it on their website. And all you got to do is type into the chat !ticket. So don't miss out.
And there will be a drawing at the end of the episode. Don't go away. Like I said, I have, oh, wow. It got very dark here all of a sudden. I was about to talk about my dark superhero novels. So yeah, I have physical copies of a couple of books. I just finished up my Kickstarter, which was successful, and a bunch of people wanted physical copies of these books. So I have I don't know, like 100 books sitting in my house. The physical copies of Libations for the Dead, which was what the Kickstarter was for, have not arrived yet, but those will be soon. So I'm excited. It's gonna be cool. All right. So when we left off 10 minutes ago, you had just come across the top of the submersible Hobgoblin ship. And you are now parked, moored, kind of near it. You can tie the ship, the boat, the rowboat, to one of the spikes coming off of the boat itself. You're not really near any land masses of any kind. Just the ship. Like I said, it appears to be made of metal. It looks like from a distance like a hill, like the back of a whale, perhaps. But it is sturdy enough to stand upon, crawl upon, and there does appear to be a hatch at the top. The hatch is closed.
I would instruct one of the crew members to tie onto one of the spikes in such a way that if it's drifting, that they would be drifting behind it. And one person must stay on the boat at all times, just in case it submerges, they can cut the rope so that the boat isn't dragged under.
Sailor runs his hand along his 3 braided beard. Which direction does it go?
If I observe it in the water, do I see it sort of drifting in a specific direction?
It's hard to say because there aren't really any landmarks here in the ocean. But based on, well, make a wisdom check. And
All
if
right.
you had since you're proficient in navigator tools, you can use wisdom navigator.
Okay.
I don't think wisdom is necessarily Captain Zeph's thing, so.
No, it's not. Apparently, we are in very calm waters because I can't tell crap.
Yeah,
I got a 4.
It's really hard to say, and that was a very difficult check to make. If you observed it for a period of time, you could probably tell which direction it's traveling in based on the movement of the stars.
Okay. New instructions: tie on to the closest spike that you like, and keep an eye on it and use an oar so that the spikes don't sink our little diggy rowboat friend.
Will do, sir. Will do. All right. So they throw a rope around one of the spikes. The spikes are not particularly sharp. You get the sense that, like, maybe at the end it's a bit sharpened. It kind of like tapers to a point, but the spike itself is mostly just narrow enough that if a ship were to ram into it, it would severely damage the ship, which is exactly what happened.
Right. I would go investigate the hatch.
Okay, you're just gonna climb onto it?
Well, does it look dangerous to do so?
Looks fine. All right.
I will first. So my my little familiar friend Corbin. I'm gonna have Corbin fly over and land on the surface and see if anything happens to it.
Okay. Yep. Corbin lands on one of the spikes and just kind of like prances there a little bit. And looks over at you like,
no. And then I'm gonna be
like
like,
his little birdie shoulders.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, try the hatch. Like,
Lands
land
on the hatch. Pecks at the hatch a little bit.
Cool. Then yeah, I jump on the ship.
Okay. Hey. All right. Yeah, your boots clomp down with the sound of leather on metal.
Okay. I'm wondering if, well,
it is
I clomp
slippery.
down, I make some noise.
You do. It is slippery.
Oops. Okay.
But like it's not too much more slippery than, like, say a ship during a storm would be.
Right. Okay.
Might be harder for these folks, but you don't have much trouble.
So I will. Is there a way that I can use the rope that's sort of like on the on one of the spikes to try and make a place that they can hold on to jump on?
Yeah, with that assistance, they can just climb onto the craft, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Are you bringing either or both of the sailors with you?
We'll bring one of them, but one should stay on the rowboat.
Is that red shirt 1 or red shirt 2?
Red shirt 2.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Daniel. My family
No,
lives.
you
All
won't-
right.
You won't need that.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't do that here.
I will. So clearly we've made some noise jumping onto the boat and like walking around it. I'm assuming that there's no real point in being stealthy at this point. But what I will do is I will examine the hatch and look for any obvious or any dangers related to opening it, whether it be trapped or like arcane marks or other reasons why me touching the hatch would be a bad idea.
Make an investigation check.
All right.
And sorry, this metal surface feels utterly foreign to you, like unnatural, alien. Like, why would anybody make a craft out of metal like this? It's just makes you feel a little uneasy.
She kind of like pokes it with her toe, like she's expecting it to do something.
It does nothing that you are aware of. Zeph, what'd we get?
13.
13. Yeah, it looks, I mean, it's sealed, but it does appear that you could, there's a wheel and you could turn the wheel to get inside.
Okay. But no other obvious dangers?
No, you don't find any other obvious dangers.
Okay. Lucretia, my statuesque beauty, lend me a hand with this, maybe?
All right. She'll nod and step up to try to get the help to help take care of that.
Yeah, and I'm helping. I'm just like I'm anticipating it might need some muscle.
Lucretia, what is your strength score?
14.
Zeph, what is your strength score?
8.
Okay. Between the two of you, you're able to turn the wheel, and you turn it about halfway, and then you hear a, and there's like a little puff of air.
I have no
around
idea
the
if that's a
hatch.
good thing or a bad thing.
Well, it seems to be open, or at least loose. Like you can pull it open now.
Okay. I will pull it open.
Okay. Yes. All right. You see a small chamber, about 10 feet, but circular, and then with a flat floor. And there is a ladder, a metal rung ladder leading down. It smells very strongly of
Wet fur.
Yeah, but like disinfectant, like astringent, and wet fur.
Okay.
But these are some very clean bugbears. Interesting. Astringent. So okay. So I smell the wet fur, but I also smell an astringent. Does that summon any memories or thoughts for me that I would like?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay, seriously.
No.
No.
I mean, it does smell. It smells kind of like lye.
Okay. I just want to say I love me some D&D Beyond, but this very like ultra realistic die where it's like you got a 17. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm not actually enjoying that because that's happening a lot tonight. I have to say
that's part of the experience one can do without, I think.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
the
like, oh, I'm awesome. No, I'm not.
ultra realistic D&D Beyond experience. It's like that's what it's like at the gaming table, right? If you have a very
like-
tippy D20.
Or when the die lands cockeyed at the edge of the screen. I'm like, what is that? What is this?
And then it says you rolled a 5 and you're like, I can
Yeah.
clearly see that I rolled an 18. Come on. Anyway. All right. So
Yeah. Okay.
you want to climb down?
I sure do, because yeah, good. They're just very clean down there, which speaks well for the quality of the ship. I'm going.
Okay.
So, and I would probably tell everyone else, be like, just in case there's anyone in there that can't submerge, I think we should probably get in quickly and shut the thing again.
Yeah. How are my wings gonna work in here? Because I know I can't fly,
Like
but
a
am I
cape?
They're like, I'm just wearing like okay, just kind of drape
Like
them
a
little bit, I
gargoyle
guess.
cape?
I will
I'm
make
sorry,
that
that's going to be one of my visual references for the rest of my life. The Gargoyles show.
I don't got the little hooky fingers. They're bird wings.
Would you like the little hooky figures?
That might be weird looking on a bird wing, but
Yeah.
I mean they could have the little hooky. I mean it is demonic. They could have little hooky fingers, I guess.
Okay. Anyway,
Sure.
like a feather cloak.
Little hooky
And sorry,
fingers on the front.
you going along into this thoroughly uncomfortable place?
I mean, it doesn't make it better to stand on top of it. So,
Yes,
and I
you
did come
are.
all the way out here. So,
You are entering a profane representation of centuries of industry that are foreign to your people.
well,
It's
she's
just
not
utterly
gonna
alien.
touch any surfaces. She's gonna walk like this, like she's in a grove of like poison oak, where you just walk with your boots on the ground and nothing else touches anything.
Okay. So into this small chamber you go. You see that there are racks where weapons and shields are hung. Most of the racks are empty, but there are a few swords, axes, picks, and some shields. They appear to be like very solid boarding sort of weapons, not like big swords, but like small chopping swords and picks and axes that you can lodge into things and pull yourself along, that sort of thing. And then wooden shields, not metal shields, all emblazoned with a particular image, which looks like a hand kind of curled like this. Painted in red.
I guess all that technology didn't get them to solve arthritis, did it? So
there is one door out of this chamber, which again has one of those little turning wheels that seals it. You can hear clanking and kind of sounds from deeper within. Sounds like groaning metal.
That sounds bad. Okay, so we're all in. We've shut the hatch above.
Okay, you shut the hatch. You want to turn the thing?
Yeah, just in case we submerge.
All right, so you turn the wheel.
Yeah.
Very tightly sealed.
And there's just the one door in this chamber?
Mm-hmm. It looks like the hatch you just came through.
Okay.
It is kind of rectangular, but the corners are rounded.
Is there any light source in this now that we've shut the hatch?
Pitch black.
It is at this moment that you all see for the first time that Captain Zeph, human, has weird glowing like red eyes. And I just walk like through it and I'm just like looking around like nothing is wrong.
So is it too dark for dark vision?
No.
Okay.
No, dark vision pierces it fine. You're just in the middle of a ship where people crewing the ship have dark vision. So they don't have a need for light sources. Okay.
Well, then we're all solid then, I think.
So yeah, I mean, except for Zeph's creepy red eyes. Yeah.
I mean, that does get a note. That does get a look from Just a curious
And
look
Siri's
from
gonna like
Lucretia.
edge over to Lucretia and be like, the eyes, but you got wings, so it's like that for him. What's
Potentially.
Okay,
I'm
Red
not
2
sure.
says, I can't see anything. Are you all still here? Oh, this is weird. It's a weird experience. Whoa! Because Zeph turned to look at him.
Yeah, so like you all with dark vision turn to look, and it's like that night vision of like cats where like the eyes are glowing with the
Yeah.
reflected light.
Oh
It'll be
yeah.
like they'll be like, you're all good, just stay exactly where you are. Don't move. There's nothing in here that can hurt you right now. We'll get you taken care of in just 1 second. I say
Okay,
this to the red shirt person.
That's reassuring. Thanks.
I am sure Lucretia's eyes look like, you know, that owl eyes in the dark kind of effect.
I can make fire, but fire on a boat seems bad, but like
Ooh.
that's a wood boat. This is a weird unnatural metal boat. So should I make him a fire?
Don't light me on fire, lady
No,
elf.
no. Make you like a campfire. Like when you're
Turn
camping.
me into a campfire? Intelligence 8. He's shaking
Nope.
with his pick.
No fire, no unreasonable questions that are silly, even for. I mean, aren't you a sailor man?
Wouldn't
You've
fire
seen scarier. You've seen
wouldn't fire-
scarier things than her.
Wouldn't fire suffocate us? Well, I've never seen anyone use real magic. That's really amazing. She's
Well, yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you
she
have
seems
now.
sweet, but her magic is, you know, terrible, powerful, awe-inspiring.
And I turned to Ansari said, and held in reserve for only the most dire needs.
I can see one of your red eyes disappears and then reappears and then disappears and then reappears.
Sorry, it's
Something happening.
At that point,
He swings
Lucretia,
his pick around,
oh,
but you all can see him, so you don't get hit by it.
Lucretia will just be like, "Shall I take the 4?"
the 4?
Shall I go out in front?
Yes, but first, let me sniff this door. But I'm not actually going to sniff it. So the door that we are hearing noises behind, do I see any evidence of like water coming through or any other sort of like shenanigans from it?
Nope.
Okay.
You could just hear kind of like groaning of metal, and then you can hear some hissing steam down below.
Oh dear. Okay.
Like regular, like.
So I'm going to turn to Lucretia and say, go ahead.
And I think now that you've kind of like let it fall silent for a second, you can hear a faint like whistling sound, like something tinny and sharp, but like very quiet. You can barely hear it.
So I'll say what I say to Lucretia is that I've only sailed wooden ships, not metal ships. So I have no idea if these noises are normal or not. But you know what I do know is that as we walk through, let's leave the path open behind us in case we need to get out quickly.
Seems to be a reasonable idea. I
Cool.
agree.
Last question before we move. So I would gesture to the door, milady.
All right, she will step around and try to open the hatch.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make an athletics check.
Oh, the athletics checks. The athletics checks.
Mhm.
That said, I am enjoying these D&D movie digital dice. They are amazing.
Oh yeah, I gotta check those out sometime.
The Themberchild dice. They're thumpy. Really? 6 though?
All right, so you turn it. All right, you managed to get it open. Okay.
But she gets a blister in the process.
Well, I'm wearing gloves, but maybe like
I mean, if your gloves don't fit right.
I would hope they do.
Fair.
But yeah.
And you open the portal into a corridor. It is narrow and low. So those of you who are very tall, if you're like over 6 feet, for instance, or if you're 6'7", you're basically stooping the whole time.
Let's move
Thanks.
quickly.
You should see me on a submarine. It's really awkward.
Oh no. I don't need to. I've seen me on a submarine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know where we're going. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
Sorry.
So yeah, and the hallway is lined with tubes, like pipes, metal pipes of some kind. And you see little steam escape from them periodically. There's one spot a little ways, the corridor goes for at least 10, 15, 20 feet or so. And
Mhm.
there's one spot about halfway down where there's just kind of a regular stream of steam just.
So I will ask Lucretia's opinion. I'm like, so I'm thinking we move quickly, check the whole ship, make sure there's no unfriendlies, and then we focus on making sure she's seaworthy. Fair?
agreed. Securing it does seem to be the most prudent course of action.
So I will draw my rapier, and I will tell our red shirt friend, just stay there. And if anyone comes through that porthole that isn't red shirt number 1, stab it.
Okay.
Given that we're in the confines of a submarine, I'm not going to draw my longsword because that does not seem prudent. I'm going to, but Lucretia will draw a dagger.
Okay.
And keep it close. Which, you know, her armor, probably not the greatest idea for a close quarters area like this, but hey, you work with what you got.
So I want to just remind everybody, when you did fight the hobgoblins on the ship who came off of this submersible to board your ship, they were wearing leather armor with metal plates sewn inside, which is, you know, brigandine, and wielding wooden shields and kind of small weapons that are probably good for close quarters combat. And one of them had a short bow.
Okay. Am I going to be able to use my rapier in this space, or do I need to switch to
Since your
a short
rapier is
sword?
primarily a stabbing weapon, you should be able to use it.
Okay. Cool. So then we
Longsword, dang, ow, ow,
Yeah, no, it's
ow,
not happening.
ow. Yeah.
But yeah.
So then I will start moving through.
Mhm.
I'm going to start moving through looking for any living beings and to look for any supplies and valuables that noting their location, but primarily moving through making sure the ship is clear of living beings and other dangers.
Okay. All right. So you start down this hall, and there appears to be a portal to another chamber at the end, and there's a ladder kind of in the middle leading downward. You can move around the ladder to continue on, or you can go down the ladder.
I want to do this systematically, so like want to sort of
So
make it so that
you want to clear this level first and then go down?
that is my instinct, unless anyone disagrees.
That seems other than the risk of someone coming up from below while we put behind us. That does seem like a solid plan.
Okay. All right. So you head down to that chamber. You come against another one of those doors. Now that when you go down this hallway, you can hear the whistling sound louder. Like it seems that the door that you came through was kind of blocking out some of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's much louder now.
Does it
And you
seem
think it might be coming from behind this door, this portal.
you said there's a porthole that one can peer through?
There is not.
Okay.
Portal, as in the door,
Got it.
the hatch.
Yes. Got it. Shall I try?
Be my guest.
Okay.
All right.
I will and do my best to open this stupid door.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Oh wait, athletics, not well, no, it's the same thing. 15.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, you it turns pretty easily and pretty well. You're pretty adept with it.
I turn to Lucretia and be like, I mean, it was probably already loosened, you know. The
Just that
blinks.
flat.
The blinks. Not the blinks.
Let's move on.
Agreed. Okay, so open and, you know, doing the thing like open, swing the door, jump in, sword at the ready. Looking for danger.
Okay. So this chamber, when you penetrate into it, is about 15 feet long and maybe 10 feet wide. The door opens just into the middle of that space, and you can see that there has obviously been some kind of fight in here. There are several hobgoblin bodies in a pool of congealed blood lying kind of in the corner. And then there's one hobgoblin who is pinned under fallen pipes that have come loose from the wall.
Does that hobgoblin seem to be alive?
Go ahead and make a perception check, please. At the far end of the room, you can see that there are smaller little hatches, like maybe 6 inches up to a foot in diameter on the wall. There are 4 of them.
I got a 19.
Okay. You can see that hobgoblin's chest is slowly rising and falling, although the bottom half of their body is pinned by the fallen pipes.
Got it.
There's also like a big bruise across their face, like they were clearly part of this fight.
Do I see the source of the loud whistling noise here?
You do see there is a whistle on a chain around this hobgoblin's neck, and the whistle has fallen from their lips and is now dangling against their chest. The whistling sound itself has stopped.
Huh. Okay.
You suspect that possibly this person was making the whistling sound with that whistle.
Okay, when you said whistling sound, I thought you meant like steam escaping like a pipe at high velocity as opposed to like a whistle. But
yes, but now that you see the actual whistle, like
okay.
Zeph makes the connection that must be some kind that might have been what was making the sound.
Okay. Okay, well, so he's either like, oh no, someone came in I wasn't expecting. I play dead, you know, like, and is not whistling, or he just fell unconscious. Either way, trapped, not seeing danger. So I will, with sword out, just sort of approach it and be like, I'm about to stab you unless you say something.
You gotta poke the hobgoblin with your sword, just like
Yep, just enough to, you know, make a point.
The hobgoblin's eyes kind of like flutter open. And they try to move, but they're pinned and they can't get away.
And I will sort of flick the blade so that it's right at its nose and be like, I just want to know what happened. What happened?
Invaders.
Who?
You invaders.
No, not us. Who invaded you? I press the blade into its nose.
Okay, its nose kind of just mutiny.
Are they still alive? Are they on board?
The hobgoblin looks over in the corner. Bloody, bloody mutineers. I took them out, but not before. Well, you see.
Is the
Who
ship
is
in danger? I'm sorry, go ahead.
who is left?
I am here. Don't know how many alive below. If you're gonna kill me, just kill me.
Oh no, you seem useful, darling.
How so?
Human scum.
Somebody might know how to drive the ship.
This one is in no condition to drive anything.
He's also in no condition to be a threat to us. So I'll turn to the hobgoblin like, yes, you are
Then he is
correct.
without use.
You're so black and white with everything. And I turn back to the hobgoblin.
Useless. Useless. The spirit of vengeance whispers. Yes. Okay, Zeph. You're still talking to the
Nope.
hobgoblin.
No, you're good. You're good. So I turn to the hobgoblin and be like, make you a deal. We deal with your mutineers. You agree to not immediately try and kill us when we free you, and we get to safety together.
We are doing. You do not speak for me.
I will make a deal with this hobgoblin person.
The hobgoblin kind of glares at Lucretia. Arr. And then the hobgoblin sees Ansari standing there, and like their eyes widen, and they go, ah, 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 ah.
She's gonna like pretend like she's starting a spell.
Okay,
You know what?
you could tell that the hobgoblin is just freaked out. Like
If
no
you
inside check
cooperate-
required.
If you cooperate, I won't use my magic.
We should simply put him out of his misery.
I'm starting to agree with you. One more question, and I say, furry friend, is that who invaded your ship? Pointing at Ansari. Elves?
No, 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 no. Mutiny. Mutiny. Attacked surface ship. Failed. Mutineers, larger numbers. Took ship, but not without fight.
Okay.
Racks can be useful. Racks show you how to use ship.
And I turned to Lucretia and be like, you see? I mean, granted, I did say that, so he may just be saying what I said, but you know, I think we've got bigger fish to fry downstairs without murdering someone who's helpless at our feet. Don't you agree?
It would not be murder. It would be a kindness.
Don't let elf put spell on Racks. Elves treacherous, murderous monsters. Stop elf from casting spells. Racks, do what you want.
And Sarah, darling, do you have any spells to make him behave?
So she's gonna be like, of course, and then she's gonna be like, what? No?
You can't like control his mind or like
No.
turn. Oh, okay. Just lots of wind.
And
Weather.
some other stuff.
Okay, got it. I'll put the sword back on his nose and be like, you stay right there. We'll be back for you. And then as I walk by Lucretia, I'd be like, I mean, do what you want, but we got bigger fish to fry. And I'll sorry, and I'll pause and see if
She'll just look
Lucretia-
back. He's no threat at the moment. And she'll start moving.
You said that there were 4 like other things in this room, like exits or other portal
Small little hatches. They're about
hatches.
somewhere between 6 inches and a foot in diameter. Just set into the wall like this.
Do we have any idea what they could be? I know I'm in what might as well be an alien spaceship to
Make
Zeph,
an
but-
insight check or
Okay.
investigation check, actually.
Okay. What cute decorations they have in this room. I got a 2. So just
No
leave.
idea.
Okay. And there's no other exits from this room, right?
Yeah, just the way you came in.
Okay. Onward.
Yes.
Wait, Rax says. If you free me, I can help.
Can you even move after being pinned underneath that thing?
Maybe.
I want to tell if he's lying, and I got an 18 on my insight.
Oh, the hobgoblin seems to be telling the truth. Like, seems honest. Just as long as elf don't use no spells
On you.
on me, on Rax.
Can I?
That Rax says something in Goblin. Do any of you speak Goblin?
No.
Let's find out.
Would I at least be able to get some sort of sense off of him, that vibe, like good evil kind of? Where he
Go-
be sitting?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight? Okay.
Yeah.
I do not
Like
speak Goblin.
I'm not sure if my divine sense is really helpful here.
No, not really.
Really? That's a 1.
No idea. Would you like to activate your divine sense?
Yeah, I'll activate my divine sense.
Okay. So you're pretty sure there is an Arcana spirit here on the ship. And you are pretty sure that there is a fiendish spirit somewhere here on the ship as well.
Okay. Yeah, she'll kind of
Below
focus
you.
on she'll focus on Rax for a moment, but then she gets this far away look and then looks down. There's something here.
I know there's this ship.
Flame
is a-
bearer. Flame bearer.
That
What is the flame bearer?
Devil. Sparked the mutiny.
So I will turn to my companions and be like, okay, I was really hoping this ship would be empty.
It's not. We have work to do. And Lucretia will just turn around and start walking back toward the ladder.
And as you walk away, I was like, I was just gonna say maybe we take the shields to patch the ship, but okay.
or supplies? Didn't we need supplies?
Well, that's what I mean. I was like, well, there's a
Oh,
bunch
okay.
of wooden shields upstairs. I was like, well, can we use those to patch the ship? Maybe, I don't know. But
Well, I was assuming like water and stuff because
well,
you need
that's it.
supplies, Rax says.
Yes.
You are from surface ship. Yes. Surface
mean-
ship sank.
No, we're better than that, please. And you're not that good.
But you came back. You need supplies. Rax will
And
assist.
Is Lucretia gone at this point?
She's gone. She is back. She has gone back to the ladder. She has other priorities now.
Got it. I will turn to Rax and be like, I'll see if I can get you out. If I do, you will help. If you betray me or anything, my elf friend gonna turn you into a toad. You wouldn't
Agreed.
want that.
No.
Cool, great. I will see if I can free him, and I'm assuming that it will probably require like some sort of leverage, or something.
Yes.
Do I see anything that I could use to like pry it up enough that he could scoot himself out?
So there are some tubes and like I was saying, pipes that have come loose from the wall. You think you can pull one free and use that to kind of lever up some of the wreckage.
I will attempt to get a pipe, and I will tell Ansari, I'll be like, I would love to have you have a spell at the ready, but I think I'm going to need your help with this. So I will see if I can grab the pipe, and both of us together will attempt to.
She's not got a lot of strength, but she's willing. So
Okay.
Every little bit helps.
What is Ansari's strength?
10. So
10. Okay. So
I
between
love
the
that
two
you're
of you,
stronger than me.
so between the two of you have an 18. 10 plus 8.
okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So you're working at it. I'm gonna need one of you to make an athletics check.
I'm
Right.
assuming yours is better because I'm a -1 currently.
7.
You can't quite do it. You really need somebody stronger. Anyway, Lucretia, you're at the ladder. You can definitely feel that devil spirit is somewhere below you.
All right.
And it is of the devil Arcana.
I would say that we would be like, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer to help. After we clear the ship, we'll be back, and we're going to have to leave him.
Okay.
And go catch up with Lucretia.
All right. So
She'll
Lucretia, you want to descend the ladder?
She's gonna descend the ladder. Yeah.
Okay. So down below, there is a corridor, but it seems like now the corridor has portals on the various sides, like it leads into additional chambers. The
Okay.
corridor itself is about 40 feet. So 20 feet one way and then 20 feet the other way. And then along those, along the sides are the circular doors with the crank.
Okay.
And you can hear at this level a faint growling sound.
Okay. Faint growling sound.
That's right.
Well, let's see. Can I get a sense in which direction? Like, is the fiendish, the devil Arcana presence coming from the direction of the growling sound?
Yes. Although the growling sound is echoing a little bit, so it's kind of hard to place exactly. But yeah, it's down one particular direction.
Okay, she
Do you
will.
want to head that way?
Yes, she will head that way.
Cool. All right.
Have we caught up by this point and can join?
Yeah, you're at the top of the ladder, and you can just climb down after Lucretia. Lucretia is basically stalking off down the hallway,
Right.
as if drawn by some force that you can't quite perceive.
I will refrain from spicy commentaries because at this point I assume that we know there are other people here. No point in drawing unnecessary attention to ourselves.
You do, Lucretia, come across a hobgoblin corpse, which is mostly burned to a crisp underfoot. about 5 feet away from the end of the hallway, which terminates in one of those crank open portals.
Okay. At that point, she will pause and stop by that door and at least wait for a moment to let everybody else catch up, since she can probably hear them moving behind her.
Okay.
Sort of catch up, and we're like,
What are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know. Inside voices.
There's a creature here of the Devil Arcana.
And you intend to
What do we do about that?
Kill it. We can't take the ship unless we kill it.
Kill it.
It is the most prudent course of action.
Prudent kill.
I mean,
She's just straight not blinking at this point.
Mhm. Just very much owl eyes.
Do you have any sense of how strong it is with your sense of it?
I mean, do I? I
Does
don't know
that
if it
give you
shows
that
me
information?
strength. I don't think so. It just lets me sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or no location of any celestial fiend or undead within
Yeah, that
within the
fiend
radius.
is definitely behind this portal.
Have you killed something like this before?
No. And then she'll wrench the...
Okay, you're gonna open it.
Yes.
All right. When you close your hands around the ring, it is burning hot. Make a fortitude saving throw, please.
Fortitude. You
That a
mean
Constitution.
not a...
Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Wrong edition.
Look, I have been playing D&D for a very long time. Let's just
It's a 12.
it's just okay. All right, you take 7 points of fire damage.
But I have fire resistance, so I
So
take
that
less.
reduces it to 3. All right.
Ow.
So yeah, it is really hot, but you are really focused, and you just grind it open, and the portal pops open, and beyond, this is what you see. So this chamber has what appears to be, the best that you can assess is something like an internal navigator's room. Like there's a wheel, like you might find on the back of a ship, turning a rudder. And then there are like stations where people crewing the ship would be doing things. There's some kind of apparatus that comes down from the ceiling. It looks kind of like a cylinder about 6 inches wide with kind of like a glass viewport in it. Okay. And at these stations, there are levers and cranks, and there is some sort of magitech thing in the center of this room. And normally, see, none of you have any particular experience with magitech, especially not in Sari, because magitech just isn't a thing with elves. So you would imagine that a person would be operating this, but instead what you see is this room full of ashen burned skeletal corpses, and then a creature standing in the middle who is tall, like taller than a human, with long limbs covered in spines, from whose mouth drips flame. It also has a long spined tail that is wrapping around the console in the middle of the room. And you see that it is just drooling flame onto that console. and it looks over at you as soon as the portal opens. Does not appear to have been surprised by your appearance. And it goes, fire just drools out of its mouth. You seem to have found the devil.
How's the space in here? Is there space enough for larger weapons, or is it still very much?
This room is about 20 feet by 20 feet. It's the largest room that you've seen so far in the ship.
Okay.
I'm just holding ready, following Lucretia's lead.
So, out of character, it is tough to have Ansari stay here. So, if it's gonna screw up like the challenge rating of this combat, like I understand, but
You're gonna flee?
I mean, I'm not seeing a reason for her not to flee, but I'm not going to be that player either, who's like, hey, my character is going to do what she's going to do, and y'all are
Nah, if you want to, you can do it if you want to. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
you
cool.
go,
Like, yeah,
do whatever you like. Anyway, but this devil is just salivates fire, and it says, and you could hear in your head this creepy devilish voice that says, "Fools, fools come to challenge me."
And I think at that point, Lucretia, like she will suddenly have an expression that is probably the most emotional expression that you've seen on her since the moment she hurled over the side of the boat. Which is to say, she's excited. There is this disturbingly eager grin on her face as she steps into the room with enough space and draws her sword.
Okay, I'm gonna have people roll initiative now, so let's do this.
All right.
All right, so it rolled real low, so we're gonna say it was starting the monologue, and then you all interrupted it. So,
all right, just a moment. Boom, boom, boom. We have a setup in Roll20. Or are we using that today?
No, we don't have Roll20, but
All
I should
right.
be able to see in D&D Beyond if we're
That's
having...
fine. I just want to make sure I wasn't. Ah, come on. The Themberchild dice don't like me. Clearly.
All right,
I
it's
rolled a
not telling me
3.
the result. What'd you get? Okay, you got a 3. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you step into the room, you were just kind of overcome by the devilish presence of this thing, and it kind of slows you down a little bit. And Sari, what'd you get?
21.
21. Zeph?
27.
27, geez. All right, well, Zeph, you're going first.
Yeah, I am.
So Lucretia and this devil thing are staring at each other, like staring each other down, and you realize that you can act first.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, good. They're distracted by like the two, like, no, I'm more emo. No, I'm more emo. Like, and so I just literally
having
like
an emo off. Yeah.
Yep. And so I just sort of draw my hand or draw my blade through my hand, but not cutting it, to sort of like, and you see it sort of like vibrates and with like some blue energy. And I just literally like run up and try and like stab it in what I think is a vital organ.
Okay. It has a lank, smooth, rubbery sort of body. It has no obvious genitalia of any kind. It's just a sexless creature of some kind. And but I mean, kind of guessing where, vital spots might be, you go up and stab it. What did you get?
Well, I was gonna say, normally I usually have my little bird friend like do flybys whenever I need to it. Can I have him do that to give me advantage?
Sure.
Cool. Then on my second roll, I got a 14.
Okay. Your sword swipes in, but it just kind of reflects off the very thick flesh of this creature. You were aiming
Cool.
for the soft underbelly, but it was not as soft as you were expecting.
Right. So I sort of like, I send in Corbin, who like hits it across the face. I come in and I'm like, yeah, stab. And I'm like, oh God, that didn't do anything. And then I dance back behind Lucretia. I'm like, Lucretia,
Stabbing does nothing.
Lucretia!
that was a decent, that like not my best work, but that wasn't that like that would have. You
Okay, and Sari. So you see Zeph dart in and stab at the thing to no avail.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
She's heading back for the boat.
Okay, and Sari retreats. Okay.
But she's gonna yell first. She's gonna yell, the fire is destroying your unnatural thing, so you can't even sail it, even if it's dead. And then she's gonna run.
Okay. All right. Lucretia. And Sari's shout breaks the kind of standoff, and the creature moves first. What it does is it just kind of spews fire into its hands, and then it hurls these two balls of flame right at you, friend.
All right.
So 17 to hit you.
That'll do it. That'll just barely do it.
Is that what your AC actually is?
No, it's my AC 16, but that's
Okay.
just slightly over. So it's
So you are going to take 12 fire damage, although that is going to be reduced by your resistance.
okay. Ow! It's not my
If
day.
the target is a flammable object that isn't being worn or carried, it also catches fire. Well, you are not, so.
No, I'm not flammable.
And then its second hurled flame strikes you right in the face, but you kind of like move aside, and it just kind of like goes past your cheek. It does 6 fire damage, which is reduced to 3.
That's not fantastic.
Great. Okay, it is then your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm a lot lower in hit points going into this fight than I anticipated. After all of that. Criminy. So yeah, Lucretia probably looks a little haggard. I mean, she didn't quite get time to recover after the fight on the boat. And so I think what I might have to do here is use my action this turn to heal thyself.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can you lay on hands yourself?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna use my full pool because I need it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump myself from 7 hit points back up to 22. So she kind of like she gets hit by the fire, and there's kind of this like moment where she sags a little bit, but then you see that kind of light coil around her hands, and she just touches herself and then stands up a bit straighter and points her sword at it. And as my bonus action, I am going to use Vow of Enmity.
Okay.
So let's see here. Yep. So I gain advantage on my attack rolls against it for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 or falls unconscious. So I utter a word in Infernal.
Okay.
And that kind of like like a runic marker will will appear on
Okay.
the
Yeah, it looks down at this burning rune that has just appeared on its chest. And it says back to you in Infernal, Erinyes, a
Yes.
worthy battle.
Oh yeah, she's excited.
Okay. So the devils are talking to each other. Zeph, your turn.
I'm like, cool. I mean, as long as I'm not the focus, as long okay, they're still no, I'm more emo. No, I'm more emo. Like, okay, great, that works for me. I'm gonna rinse, repeat, try again. Like Corbin does another flyby, and I'm gonna try and come in. This time though, I've drawn my short sword, and we're gonna try and pincushion this thing in front of us.
Okay.
So the first thing so there's the same thing. Blade is vibrating. I'll try that first. Okay, that's so much better. A 23.
Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna hit. So you sink your blade into it.
Yes. And I add my sneak attack, and so it takes a total of 9 damage, 9 piercing damage. And if it moves again, if it moves willingly on its next turn, it will take more damage from being sheathed in this like vibrating energy. And then with my bonus action, I'll also just try and like jab it with my short sword real quick.
Okay.
Nope, did not hit because still like rubbery, jelly, pokey, hard things. And then I will dance back behind Lucretia again and be like, yeah, you tell him in that weird language.
Okay.
And I'll maybe also yell down the hall like, Ansari, not cool.
Yeah, the devil doesn't appear to be paying any attention to you at all, Zeph. It is totally focused on Ansari. You are on Lucretia. You stabbed it, and like obviously you pierced through and you got into its flesh, but it barely noticed. It is appearing to head toward Lucretia, but it's not its turn yet. The turn is actually that of Ansari. So Ansari, you're now climbing up the ladder because that's how many actions you had at this point. And your amulet starts feeling warm. And it says, you feel this, well, it doesn't really speak to you exactly. You just kind of have this feeling in your mind. You just remember something that your father told you so long ago, which was, there is no shame in fleeing an enemy that is too great. If a challenge is too high, think, do not act. And that is the feeling that the amulet is giving you. It approves.
Okay, like I was super braced. Maybe you saw me brace. I'm like, oh, it's gonna tell me to go back. Okay. So she's gonna wait like by the last when she can get there. She's gonna wait by well, we left red shirt 2 like up there
at the entrance. Yeah.
Red 2, yeah.
So she's gonna if this is too much for one action, tell me, but she's gonna tell red shirt 2 to get on the boat.
All right, so you just start talking to him, and he's
Yeah.
like, ah, because he can't see you. Although he could hear your footsteps, so he knew something was approaching. You saw him like pull out his pick, like, I'm gonna get it. And then you start talking to him. He's like, oh, it's just you. It's just you, lady of the winds.
Just go back up.
Oh, go back up. Thank the gods. Okay, and light streams down into the chamber again. So now that you're
wait for us.
Now that you're viewing the chamber not just with dark vision, you can see that like there are stains creeping up the walls, like black mold, it almost looks like. But it's you look at it and you realize that it's just the metal burning and melting.
She was gonna stay and like be ready to help, you know, if others were coming, but like she's gonna go up onto the rowboat herself now.
Okay. You hear a faint whistling sound, which is sounding a little bit panicked, like.
Oh,
Okay.
but my strength isn't enough alone.
So back
Unless
downstairs.
I take one of those.
Fires are
levers.
starting to erupt like pillars around this devil creature. And Lucretia, have you closed toward it yet? No, I don't think so, right?
Not
You're still
yet.
kind of
No.
standing back. Okay. It just pours flame into its hands and it hurls the flame at you again. So
I don't like that. I don't like that thing.
okay, its first attack, it rolled a natural 1. So in this case, the flame misses you and heads back down the corridor behind you.
Okay.
That ducks.
Yeah, no, it didn't hurt either of you, definitely. And then its second flame was a 16, which only does half damage to you, which means you take 2 fire damage, which is reduced to 1 fire damage.
Okay.
So that, like, it just barely whisked past you, and you could feel a little bit of heat. And then it splattered
right.
on the wall, and it's starting to melt the metal, you realize.
Well, then we better finish this fight quickly before this thing melts this thing beyond usefulness.
Absolutely.
And
And then it lowers itself to the ground and like.
And in
Your
response to that, yeah, Lucretia will just kind of like she bares her teeth, and they're just she's got those fanged incisors, like very very demonic or vampire-esque, and just kind of hisses another word, an infernal, using my bonus action to use Hunter's Mark, so a second sigil, in a different pattern, appears on it, and then she'll rush in to attack with her sword.
Okay.
So I do have advantage.
Okay. Do you have a shield?
No.
Okay, it's just a sword.
Just a sword.
Okay.
Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, that's a crit.
Well, that hits.
That does.
So you
hit.
land a vicious blow upon the creature.
Yes. And remind me how we handle crits here again.
Well, we are doing heavy crits, which is to say that it does you roll your damage normally, and then it also does the maximum that you could have done with your attack.
Okay.
If you have additional dice like a sneak attack or a paladin smite, for instance, it also maximizes that. So
yeah, I've got my Vow of Enmity. I've not a Vow of Enmity is advantage. I have Hunter's Mark now, which will add another D6, I believe.
Okay. Are you also going to use a smite?
I don't know, because the only smite spell I have Searing Smite, but that does fire damage.
It's not necessarily a spell. Remember that you just have a smite ability where you can just burn a spell slot and it does extra damage.
I'm level 3. Do I have smite yet?
Yes.
I do have Divine Smite. Okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and
you can tell this lady mostly plays like rogues and stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and see. I burned a slot for I didn't gain any spell slots back between the last fight and this one. Yeah, I'll use it to
first level
smite.
slot.
Yep.
Okay. So it's going to do an additional 2d8 damage.
So
I will just go ahead and apply your extra damage. Just tell me what all dice you end up rolling. So it's the 2d8 smite.
2d8 smite, 1d8
longsword
for the longsword, and then another d6 from Hunter's Mark.
Okay. So yeah,
so
just
D8.
Roll your attack damage normally.
So the d8, one hand. Okay, so 9 damage just from the sword itself, and then another
2d8 from the smite.
3 from a Hunter's Mark, and then 2d8 from smite. Another 14 from Smite.
Okay. All right. So it is 9 plus 3 is 12 plus 14 is 26 plus 30 is 56 damage. Oof.
Zeph is just like, oh.
So yeah, as she swings in and hits this thing, that sword just flares with power.
Yeah,
That was better.
That thing was sitting pretty. Yeah, thing was sitting pretty, and now it is not. So you bring your sword down and you just cave into the thing's chest, just like open it up, and divine radiance burns through the creature as the Arrhenias pours forth her malice and destruction upon the devil. It is not dead, but it is severely wounded. Blood, fiery red blood, just pours out of it onto the floor, which you could see the floor starting to corrode under the intense heat of the creature's eye core. Okay, Zeph. So now there's fire all around these two.
Yeah.
You can still
You're not
navigate
gonna
it
be
without.
able to sail the submersible. Just saying.
You this is why we're friends. We think similarly. So I see this fiery blood from this thing melting the ship. And I think to myself, I saw steam. Steam is water. Do I see anything in this room that might indicate to me that I could crack open some sort of pipe that would like spray some sort of watery vapor or water itself to like stop the melting?
So yeah, you think that at least one of those tubes, it would probably be just a guess as to which of those tubes might have water in it. But yeah, if you broke one of those tubes, it might spray water. Do you want to make an investigation check to give yourself a better chance?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, the tipping dice, D&D Beyond, I swear. 7.
Okay, yeah, you have no idea. So it would just be kind of a guess. There are 4 pipes that are near you. I mean, one of them you see steam hissing out of, so you can tell it's not that one.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be just pick one of those pipes at random to stab with your sword. Or are you going to try something else?
I mean, that's what I've got. It's
Okay.
either I continue to help stab it, and it continues to bleed more melty blood all over the ship, or I run, or I take some kind of action to save the ship. So I am going to just, do a little like, to whatever is listening or watching or cares, please let me pick the right one. Because when have I ever made good choices in my life? Never. So
Never.
let's see if we can change that. How am I doing this? So I'm going to, does it seem like I could stab it? Is there something I should bang it with that's
You could
nearby?
just stab it with your sword. So your sword is coated in devil blood, which, I mean, there's flame coming off of the sword now as the blood is starting to soak into the sword.
Oh.
So theoretically, it makes your sword extra corrosive, difficult to, it's like really good at piercing through things. Anyway,
great.
Roll a d6 and then tell me the result.
Okay. A 1.
Okay, so good news is you stab into a pipe, no problem. Your sword goes right into it. Bad news is when you withdraw your sword from the pipe, what comes out of that pipe is a viscous black substance, which immediately catches fire. Because that appears to be an oil pipe that you stabbed into.
Of course it is.
So now I'm going to need Zeph and Lucretia and the devil to make a dexterity saving throw. as
I'm
the pipe
helping.
explodes.
Hmm.
The devil's fine. Good for you, Mr. Devil.
4.
Okay, Lucretia, you were caught in a blast of flame.
23 for Zeph.
Zeph, you dodge out of the way of the exploding pipe. Lucretia, you are going to take a little bit of the fire damage. It's going to be
That's fine.
10 points of damage. It's not too bad.
And reduced because
That's reduced, yeah.
that,
Go
that
ahead.
is
It
that already
reduces.
reduced?
No,
or?
no, it reduces to 5.
Okay.
I make it a policy not to tell you what when I say the original number, I assume you're
Okay.
going to apply your reduction to it. But
Okay.
yeah, it's always fine to clarify. All right. So yeah, and now, Lucretia, that also knocked you over from the explosive burst. Zeph, you take 5 points of fire damage. You are not knocked
fair.
prone.
That's fair.
Okay.
And I just go like, I'm sorry.
And now the entire ship is engulfed in flame all around you. It is intensely hot in here. Lucretia, with your fire resistance, you're fine. You barely notice. Zeph, it's starting to become very uncomfortable for you in here. So, and Sari would normally go next, but Rihanna had to step away for a moment. So we're just going to move on to, oh, she's back. All right. Hey, Rhiannon, it's your turn.
Oh, I
So-
hoped that I was in the correct place, but
It's fine. So there was this boom, and then the ship rattled all around you. And you see flames starting to lick up the walls from below.
And you just hear a familiar voice go, shit, sorry.
And you hear that wild whistling sound.
which is the hobgoblin that wants us to free him, right?
Yeah.
Can I do some kind of like insight to sort of mentally calculate, because I take one of the crew with me for the bigger strength. And I assume the pipe is still there for the leverage.
Yeah, if you called one of the crew down. So Red 2 is, we're just going to call him R2. R2 is climbing up. He's about to leave the ship when the explosion happens. And then he kind of like falls, slips back down the ladder. And he's like, are you all right? We have to get out of here.
So do I think I have enough time to go get the hobgoblin before like the fire is going to like basically consume the entire submersible?
Well, you're not really sure, but it hasn't. You just see some flames at this point.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, you probably have a few rounds.
So grab Red 2 and say, I have a job for you. We're going to be quick about it. I want to be off the ship as much as you do.
Okay. Yes. Let's go. Wait, running into the flames. Lady Elf, and he follows you. Fortunately, now it is not dark anymore. Those flames are
There
putting
you
out
go.
plenty of light.
Yep.
All right, yeah, you get back into the room with the hobgoblin, and the sailor looks confused. Like he shows up slightly short of breath because, you know, smoke. He's coughing, and he's like, what are we doing here? Ah, there's a hobgoblin right there, right there. And Rax says, and looks at you with terror once again.
If you betray us, you'll wish I had left you here. And then we can like try to lever him out.
Okay. So you have a 10 strength.
Correct.
Okay, and the sailor's strength is somewhat higher, so you are able to lever off the debris from the hobgoblin. Their legs are basically crushed, and so they can't walk, but the sailor can probably carry them.
I mean, we can't leave him there to die now, can we? Yeah, bring him.
Okay. Yep. The sailor stoops down to pick up the hobgoblin, kind of like over the fireman's carry.
Yeah.
The hobgoblin screeches in pain from, having the, being lifted with broken legs like that. But then is looking at you kind of curiously and surprised, like, why would this person be helping me? Anyway, and then the sailor, the ship rocks again with another explosion. Okay, back down below, the devil is loving this. This is amazing. Anyway, now that Lucretia has closed with the devil, it is going to swing its tail at her.
I'm not prone now, aren't I?
Correct. So it does have advantage against you because you are prone. 17 is going to hit you. It's only going to do 9 points of damage. The spines pierce into you and do 9 points of piercing damage. And then it is going to strike at you with its claws.
Okay.
That's going to miss. But with that advantage, okay, it does 5 points of piercing damage with its claw.
All right, I'm not doing great. Just not calling it out now.
Oh, and then its other claw, you managed to bat it away with your sword.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the devil is like just perched over you, just kind of like tearing at you. All right, it's your turn.
Okay. Can I try to get back up?
Okay. Yeah, you shove it back and you lever yourself up with your sword.
All right. Yeah, because I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to stab it to death.
Okay.
Is what I'm going to attempt to do.
So let me ask you this question. Is your sword a magical sword?
No.
Okay.
Never good when the DM asks that.
I just
No,
thought I'd ask.
It's not.
Just thought I'd ask.
Hey, you let us pick.
I did.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to, so I still get advantage. So, boom. Oh, that's the damage. I'm sorry. That is incorrect. There we go. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. What happened?
Is it not showing up in the thing? Because I rolled 7.
I'm not seeing it.
It's showing up on the log on my end.
All right. Well,
I rolled a 7.
For some reason.
That's the best I got is a 7.
Okay. It does not hit. Okay.
I am at 2 hit points.
There we go. I think this might be it. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Captain Zeph. It is your turn.
Okay. Out of character to Allie. Feel like we're low on options. And I guess sorry, actually the out of character stuff doesn't matter, I guess. So my only options I think are to leave my new friend to die, try and stab it myself, hoping it will die, and or stab another pipe, hoping it's the one with water, which I don't even know. Or maybe there are 2 oil pipes. Who knows? This could be horrific. Yes,
Captain Zeph.
My dear DM. Yes.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Got a 6.
Okay. You are abruptly standing on the bridge of your own ship with Sebastian.
Oh, thank goodness that's over.
And Sebastian says, "No, dearest, it's not over."
Oh, that was just a bad dream. I mean, you know
No,
my bad dreams.
it's still happening. I brought you inside so that you wouldn't have to suffer.
Inside.
We don't have
What?
much time for me to explain. I do have a way to help you, though.
Okay.
But it is, he looks worn and sad, and he says, you're not going to like it. It's painful.
Are you okay?
No. And
Love, what's
neither
wrong?
are you. But it's too much to go into. I can explain it to you, but you need to take my hand.
I trust you. You just tell me what to do. I'm doing it.
Give me all of you.
Always. Without hesitation.
Okay, his hand closes tightly around yours, like you can feel his nails digging into yours. And you watch his flesh start to like contract against his skull. And he says, don't be afraid. And it turns into like a skeleton in front of you. And you were holding hands with death itself. And then when you wake up in this fiery hellscape, you were holding the sword of death itself. It's crackling black and murderous in your hands. Lucretia, the devil trying to savage you on the ground, like it, you managed to get back up and you're kind of like valiantly fighting it off. And you look over and you see Zeph standing there contemplating another pipe, and his sword, which was just kind of a normal looking sword, has now turned jet black, like he's holding a shard of darkness, and blackness is flowing out of it into him.
And she will look over and she'll just shout, "Strike it!"
Okay, you can hear Lucretia say that. You are awake again, Zeph.
Not again. And I stabbed the shit out of it.
Okay, make an attack.
Oh my god, this roll is good.
18.
Yeah, that does hit it.
Okay. $14 damage.
Okay. And now I am going to need you to roll 8d6, please.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly we're playing Shadowrun. Hello, what's happening?
You see the dice roller on there? Yep. Okay.
27, whatever the heck that is.
Your sword stabs into the creature, and then it just drains its life force out of it. You inflict 27 necrotic damage to the devil. And you feel that life force kind of flow into you. You heal 13 hit points, back up to full, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yep. And the creature sags like you almost completely destroyed it with just that one blow. And your sword is crackling and dark energy is seeping up your arm. You can see black veins creeping up your arm from the blade.
And I'll just lean in next to it and go, sucks, doesn't it?
You still have your bonus action if you want to stab it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I
thought you might.
My pathetic little butter knife short sword compared to what's in my other hand. 6, 7.
Okay, that clang.
I'll still try on if it gets to me and it doesn't and I can actually act.
Well, I imagine I have its attention now.
Yeah. Okay, Ansari. So the ship shakes under the force of another explosion, but you and the sailor are carrying that hobgoblin out. Red 1 is up in the rowboat, and he's freaking out because there's flames and smoke coming out of the thing. And he's like, Lady Elf, you're back. Where are the others?
I hope they're coming. And I'm here to ensure that their path is smooth once they get this far.
Oh, good. Oh, good. What action would you like to take?
I mean, I'm watching it and being like, come on. Nothing in particular I can do.
Okay, you're just going to wait.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hoping that they're coming. Okay. Yeah, the devil is indeed going to attack Zeph. So it turns to you. And Zeph, you hear this icy, distant voice, which sounds like Sebastian's voice, but Sebastian's voice, if he's dead, which he has been dead for a long time. Don't worry. He cannot touch you. He cannot kill that which is already dead. Anyway, so the devil attempts to touch you. 18 is going to hit you.
Yes.
5 piercing damage.
Okay.
9 is not going to hit you. You just kind of casually move out of the way. That does not hit you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then its tail lashes around. AC 19 will hit
Okay.
you. 10 piercing damage. So that slap of the tail kind of knocks you toward the door.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the devil coughs up fiery blood. You see that the wound that your sword left in it, like blackness is spreading from it, like a poison around it. And then the devil looks over at Lucretia, and its eyes are no longer confident and arrogant and hateful, but like pained and afraid. Anyway, Lucretia, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to save dramatics for if I actually land this. All right.
The
Going
thing
to
is
hit.
cowering from you, so you do have
Ooh.
advantage to hit it.
I already had advantage, but yes, 23. Yep. 23 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits it.
And then this plus another d6. So okay, it's going to be 7 plus. So that's 9 total.
Awesome.
Is that enough to end it?
It is.
Okay, so I think
right.
what she's going to do then is she's going to hiss in Infernal, "Your time is done," and then she's going to just lop his head.
Okay. The devil actually looks relieved. And then it is dead, and then its body starts corroding and turning into black ash. Meanwhile, the ship is still exploding around you.
Yes. Does it seem like it's in a state that if I did get some water on it, it
No.
would help?
No. Actually,
Cool.
you can see water rushing in now, because there's the explosion damaged the hull, and now there is water spraying inward. You could see like bolts just ping off of the metal inside and like fire at you like darts, and you just kind of narrowly avoid being stabbed by those things. It is definitely going down.
Then I will grab Lucretia's wrist, expecting the like whip of the head around with the look.
Oh yeah, you get it.
And I say, forgive the presumption, but let's go. And I
Agreed.
start
This has failed.
like running, dragging.
She doesn't need to be
Whatever.
dragged. She will move. Like she had a moment where she kind of sagged down and was like leaning on the sword a bit. But well, now that it's time to move, she's moving.
So Zeph, as you're hauling Lucretia out of there, you hear that distant voice say again, "My love, we will be together soon." As the ship is exploding behind you. And you do stay ahead of it, and like water starts rushing in as you're climbing up the ladder, and you get up to the top where they're just casting off, like untying the rope, and you hop into the rowboat as the ship, like fire comes bursting out of the top, out of the hatch, and then the whole ship sinks beneath the waves.
So Zeph is hands and knees in the boat, panting. Does the sword still look like it did down below?
It has settled down, if that term makes sense. It is still jet black. Like the blade is just extremely dark.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, it's calm once again.
Yeah,
I will. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Lucretia, as soon as they get into the boat, she kind of collapses heavily into one of the seats, leaning against the side, and it's just like she is rough.
Zeph will, not in like some weird, creepy, like sexual way, but in a actually tender, like meaningful way, will just sort of like bring the sword to his cheek, like give it a kiss, and then sheath it, and then turn around and be like, seriously, to his elf friend.
She did rescue the hobgoblin.
Oh, that's noted.
I couldn't leave him to die.
My computer's
You-
freaking out. Sorry.
You very well could have. Lucretia just kind of growls that from where she's leaning.
Okay.
We're gonna chat. We're gonna chat about that. It's fine, but let's chat. I think we're gonna have some time.
This effort has failed.
Has it? Says the spirit of vengeance.
She does kind of suddenly get this little self-satisfied smile, just out of nowhere. Like she seems like very like growly, and then suddenly just kind of looks a little pleased.
And that's all the time we have for tonight. Captain Zeph, you have made a pact with a spirit of the death arcana.
Oops.
And
What a pacts going around.
yes, I was just going to say, the last thing I'm going to say is, Ansari, the amulet is warm and comforting, like it approves of this outcome.
Well, thank goodness. At least somebody's happy.
And you hear a distant voice from, as if from the wandering magician, Alcaris, saying, "You have found the power, the judgment, the wisdom, the bravery, and the discretion. It is time for the next step." Okay, so I have been Eric Scott to be the DM of this campaign. This concludes the Path of the Magician season. So next time we will be upon the path of the High Priestess, which is the next step in the Arcana. and I will talk about it more then. But we are already 20 minutes overdue, so I'm just going to pass it to Allie. Take it away, Allie.
Well, hello again, everybody. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I am Alexandra Pitchford. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. And yeah, you can generally find me here on alternating Wednesdays doing this, and then on the opposite weeks on Mondays, generally speaking, we have our Greymantle campaign, which should have its next episode coming up on the 10th. So I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah.
I've been Rhiannon Health. Check out my space opera series. And we have a giveaway to be doing stuff with. So type !ticket into the chat right now. It's your last chance while we do the last of our other stuff, and then we will roll for the winner. So you get a set of Phoenix dice. You choose it yourself from their website. They shipped anywhere in the world. They're really awesome and pretty, made from recycled materials. So you really want to enter. And also thanks tonight to our moderators, Rumpus Imperator, and I saw Myra Doug in the chat earlier. So
Awesome. And I have been Benjamin Williams, and it is such a privilege to play with these lovely folks, and I'm having a blast, and I hope that you are enjoying it too. Please check them out.
Excellent. Are we doing that dice giveaway?
yeah, Grumman won.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Those are some awesome dice. Go pick out your favorite one, and we will be in touch. Thank you all, and we'll see you all next time. Until then, Rhiannon, take us out.
Until then, may your rolls and your word count be equally high.